Hey guys, Matt the Greeter here. What am I doing? This is not the Bug Smasher. What am I doing? Cheating? Yeah, I think it's a 2011 Hyundai Sonata. We got, I don't know, 24,000 miles on it or something like that. I actually started riding my motorcycle, my Bug Smasher, my 09 Harley Davidson Lowrider when this car came out. So this car is the same age as my riding experience, you know? But I feel like I've become a much better rider, but I still drive like a New Englander, you know, like someone from the Boston area. So I don't have a phone mount, so I got this, it's balanced on my speedometer. Don't tell the authorities. They wouldn't want to hear that I'm talking to you while I'm driving, would they? They might not care. Anyway, guys, I was listening. So I borrowed a CD from my mom, Alabama, the Essential Alabama. Now I've spouted off about how much I hate country music. You know, I've said that multiple times, probably on videos that I have yet to edit. And I'm not a country music fan. I'm not a fan of the stereotypical lifestyle. You know, you see the beer drinking, gigantic tired pickup trucks with the flag the size of, you know what I'm talking about. Coal rolling, you know, all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of the stereotype of the country, blah, blah, blah. But my mother listened to a lot of country records when I was growing up. And I do mean records. I'm not just talking like an old dude. Like actual LPs, you know, you put them on the record player and you drop the needle and you listen. And then when it's over, you know, sometimes you got to flip the record. Well, not sometimes. On the record player we grew up with, you got to flip the record, drop the needle again to hear side 2, you know? Beautiful, meditative. It's like making coffee, you know? Listening to a real record on LP is something I look forward to getting back to when my kids are a little bit older and not as destructive. And but anyway, so what was I talking about? I'm talking about Alabama, and I borrowed the Essential Alabama. Got a bunch of songs that I used to hear on the record when I was a kid. My mother would be playing that stuff in the background, and I realized something today on the drive, and that I'm a bass player. Some of you know that. I don't have any bass content on my other YouTube channel, just some lousy guitar covers and whatever. But as a bass player of 20 years or so, I got a lot of little moves on the bass, and every once in a while I discover where it came from. So listening to the Essential Alabama here, a couple of their songs, I'm hearing some of the moves. A couple of moves that I use to this day that I probably picked up in my subconscious all those years ago, listening to Alabama on the record with my mother, you know? And it's pretty cool, like play me that country music, or that mountain music. Mountain music is what it's called. He's got some tricky finger stuff that has kind of worked its way into my repertoire. But it's cool because it worked its way into my repertoire. It worked its way into my musical vocabulary long before I picked up a bass. So it was in there, ready to be expressed, long before I had ever put a bass in my hands. So I guess what I'm encouraged by is, like, if you out there, if you're picking up a new skill, or if you got a dream for the future and say like, nah, I'm not ready to get into it just yet. No, I mean, maybe down the road. Well, hang on, man, because your brain is more has more capacity than maybe you realize. So you start pouring that stuff into your brain right now, and lots of it, and good stuff, and then down the road you got vocabulary, you just haven't had the venue to use it in yet, you know. So my encouragement, and me and Randy Owens from Alabama, I didn't realize was a good friend of mine, musically anyway, although he's not the bass player, but you know, put that stuff in your mind. Take all that old music that you thought was lousy or whatever at the time, re-listen to it. You know, if you're a music dude, re-listen to it, and you'd be surprised, man. There's some great stuff in a lot of that old stuff that you might have found cheesy back in the day, and it's there, man. It's just waiting for you to ingest and digest, and then do something with. you know, you can either puke with it or you can sing with it, you know. And I prefer today to sing with stuff, you know, leave the negativity behind if possible. And that's all I got for you today. Just listening to Alabama, you know, and just thinking about some of the gifts and talents and techniques that I have to this day. And sometimes they came from things that I didn't understand at the time, but I am awfully glad today that they're part of my vocabulary, part of my experience. So at the time, I would have told you I wasn't enjoying it, but thank you, you know, thank you to my parents who had a great record collection and allowed me to use the record player whenever I wanted to, you know. And thank you to the musicians who have been making that great music over the years. All right. Hey, it's pounding rain. When this stuff stops, I'll get back in the helmet and start jabbering at you in a way you expect. So have expected anyway. So I'm Matt the Greeter. It's been good checking in with you. We'll be back on two wheels. You just talk to Mother Nature for me. Tell her let's move this stuff along. Come on. Yeah, I've been waiting all year to ride in beautiful weather. I ain't waiting all year to ride in the rain. So I'll check in with you guys soon. All right, Matt the Greeter. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, please. Love to hear from you. No one ever does, but do it today. This could be your day to leave your first comment on my channel, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, guys, this is my exit. I'm getting off, and talk to you soon.